Good morning. It's another day and a time for discipleship today. We've been talking through the general commands of Jesus Christ as they're presented in the New Testament. And it really comes from Matthew 28, 19, and 20, where it talks about the Great Commission. And we've noticed that there's a comma between where we stop at the Great Commission, and it goes on to say, teaching them to obey all that I have commanded you. So it's important that we understand the commands of Christ, as well as teach disciples the commands of Christ. Today, number 38, render unto Caesar's what is Caesar's. And it really, it's based on Matthew 22, starting in verse 19 and going through 21. And let me read it for you first. And I'll be reading from the English Standard Version. Show me the coin for the tax. And they brought him a denarius. And Jesus said to them, whose likeness and his inscription is this? They said, Caesar's. Then he said to them, therefore render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's. And when they heard it, they marveled, and they left him and went away. The context here is there are rulers and legitimate overseers, and ultimately we owe their possessions to them. But we also owe something to God. It was illegal to carry a Roman coin onto the Temple Mount. So when he says this, and it's in the temple, there shouldn't have been anybody there that could have produced this coin. Okay? That's what the money changers were all about on the Temple Mount. The only money that should have been on the Temple Mount was Jewish money, because it didn't have anybody's inscription on it. They took that command from the Old Testament to have no graven image very, very seriously. So for them to even be able to produce this coin, this is the Jewish rulers. They had these laws, these rules, that they didn't even follow themselves. And it exposes them, but it also exposes something else. As the coin bore the image of the emperor and testified to his ownership of it, so we as human beings bear God's image, and so testify to his ownership of us. Here's the deal. We're supposed to be the hands and feet of Jesus as we go out into the world. We bear his likeness, his image. And how is it that we act like him? As disciples of Jesus Christ, we call ourselves Christians. That means little Christ. We're supposed to bear his image to everyone that we come in contact with. We don't have a coin that marks us as his, because we bear that image. And that's my challenge to you. How do you bear God's image to people? How do you show honor to God through your life? And that's what it's about. Do we honor Caesar? Do we honor our government? We should. There's some things that they own. But ultimately, God owns everything, and we should honor him by bearing his image to people. So for discipleship today, my name is Bob Benson. Thank you for taking the time to watch.